Hey there, I stream every Friday. Now you might have missed that, but don't worry, because the highlight channel for it is finally here. So go check it out now, because new videos will be uploaded there every week. Link is our strong swordsman, who saves the day every time, and to do so he has to slay hordes of enemies. Some of which are extremely fun to take out, and others not so much. However, there's a whole group of enemies that was only seen in a handful of games, extremely fun to fight, and never really returned in any way. So let's have a look at which of the enemies seen in the series should make a glorious return.
Dr.Wily.
Number 6. In The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, there's one mighty beast roaming the plains that returned to the series after ages. The Lionels, who appear in 5 different variations, and they can wield a sword and shield combo, a spear, or a crusher. They also wield a bow that is equipped with regular, fire, ice, shock, or bomb arrows. Now, this enemy is one of the most complicated and challenging in the entire game. However, it was actually not seen that much in the series. He returned in Breath of the Wild after being gone for 4 years, and even longer before that. He never even appeared in a 3D game up until Breath of the Wild. They were seen in games like the first Zelda, Link to the Past, and some other 2D titles, where they did a similar thing. But, now that they have appeared in a 3D game, I don't want them to ever leave, because they're so much fun to take on. Nintendo just took the 2D version, added some attacks to the ones it already had, and made a great overworld mini-boss out of it. It's fast, uses different strikes that require a wide range of jumps and flips to dodge, can do some insane attacks like shooting fireballs, and a whole lot more. So, I really want this fantastic beast to return in the next title. Number 5. Now, people who have been following this channel for a bit know my big love for The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. And there's one enemy that's a bit odd seen in this game that was never seen again, but should return. The Snappers, who are turtle-like enemies with a very special ability that wasn't really seen in any other enemy. Their shells provide them with great defense, leaving only their underbellies as their weak spots. And they attack by spinning towards you in a straight line, destroying everything in their path. Now there are several ways to beat them, including launching from a Deku Flower's Deku Link to hit them from beneath, flipping them over with Goron Link's punches, or by using a bomb to blast away their defenses. In my opinion, this enemy is incredibly memorable if you've ever played Majora's Mask, and their mechanic of spinning around the place works really well. It challenges you in the sense that you need to be aware, and as soon as they make their weird little charge sound, you need to be running. Even taking them out is incredibly satisfying. Hitting them perfectly as Deku Link feels so great and rewarding. Another great use of this enemy is seen in the Woodfall Temple, where the mini-boss uses a giant one by riding it. After knocking him off his snapper, Link must shoot him with the hero's bow as he crawls across the ceiling. This made for a fun fight which mostly focused on 2 things: precise timing and your aiming skills with the bow. Now if all of this would return in a future 3D Zelda game, then I'm 100% up for it, because personally, I miss them quite a lot. Number 4. While some elements of Ocarina of Time should remain a thing of the past, there's one race that totally shouldn't: the Deku Scrubs. Small forest creatures that are both friend and foe that inhabit Hyrule, Termina, and several other countries. They are plant-based creatures and spit Deku nuts at their enemies when threatened. They usually appear in a small flower-like tuft of foliage, which they hide within almost always. Sometimes they are Link's foes, and you need to best them, while other times they will actually help you out. Now they are in my opinion a classic of the series, even though they weren't seen a whole lot in recent games, only some variations on it. However, the thing I really want to see is this race returning in a 3D title in its former glory, because Majora's Mask explores a different side of the species. They're a functioning society composed entirely of Deku Scrubs, known as the Deku Kingdom. They are situated in the southern swamp of Termina, and their leader is the king. If they would return in this way, then we could see another amazing kingdom, and it would probably look way better than it did in Majora's Mask. They're such fun little creatures that I would be over the moon if they returned again in such a role. They could even make it into an enemy base that you need to invade, a bit like the pirates or Gerudo Fortress seen in Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. One downside though, their tactic in the game is not that special and quite simplistic even. So it's not the perfect pick, but it would be fun to see them again as a mighty nation once more. Number 3. When exploring the world, Link will also have to conquer the vast ocean seen in Hyrule. For example in the Wind Waker. And here we saw one enemy that looked amazing and was quite fun to take on. Georgs. And no, I'm not talking about the awful boss from Majora's Mask. Because sheesh, I hate it! The one we are actually looking at are the sharks that inhabit certain parts of the Great Sea. If Link encounters one while sailing, it will attempt to knock him out of the King of Red Lions by ramming it head on. They can also attack Link by biting him should he encounter one while swimming. So overall, it's a bit of a Jaws feeling. But this gets worse. Usually they attack in groups of 2 to 5, and if you're immobile, they will circle you, and soon after one of them will venture in to ram the boat or bite Link. When it comes to all the sea enemies seen in this game, the Georg certainly takes the crown and is king. While they can certainly be annoying, they at least do 2 things right. Create tense atmosphere and harm you effectively. They will chase you, so even if you try to sail away, they will keep bugging you regardless, so you will have to face them. When you do stop, they will start circling you, and the menacing music becomes louder and louder, creating tension. Now you need to be quick and hit them with at least something, or they will start to charge at the boat. This can be terrifying, especially when there are 4 around you, ramming with their full weight into your ship. It's a fun challenge to try and take them out, the pressure and stress they bring is fun, and all of this just adds to the atmosphere. In my opinion, it creates a perfect Jaws moment, and I would love to see these glorious creatures return in a future game. Number 2. Assassins are seen in the game from time to time, and a recent example of this would be the Yiga clan seen in Breath of the Wild. But there was actually a group of cutthroat fighters before them, the Garo, who were enemies of the Ikana kingdom in life. In Majora's Mask, their nation sent several spies to investigate the kingdom to gather intelligence, and even after they had died, they continued to haunt Ikana, ready to report to their superior. Although they appear to be humans with cloaks, Pamela's father claims Garo are actually empty shells, animated by willpower. So they're sort of a ghost assassin of the past that you will encounter throughout the entire canyon. When you first encounter it, it will summon a ring of fire to form some sort of arena, and then straight up attacks you. They use long, sharp swords in battle that can easily be blocked with the shield, and doing so will render them weaponless. The fact that it turns into some sort of private one-on-one duel makes it even more fun to fight, and quite different from a lot of other enemies. It's fast-paced, looks mysterious, and does a lot of charges throughout the entire battle. Personally, I think they're a fun and quick fight every time you encounter them. Aside from that, the story and idea behind them is incredibly interesting, and I would love it if Nintendo explored their origins more. They could even introduce new types of them. These are mere scouts after all, so nothing fancy really. There's a lot of potential, so why not use it, Nintendo? It would make for an amazing group to take on in a future game. I really hope they will do something with them again. Number 1. Now we finally arrived at the ultimate enemy that was so much fun that it has to return to the series. And believe me, you won't really expect what's coming, because number 1 is the Boblin. They either wield a club or a bow, and they shoot flame-ignited arrows or bomb arrows. Overall, they're incredibly similar to the Bokoblins seen in a ton of other games, so you wouldn't expect them to be on this list at all. But there's one aspect to them, in Twilight Princess especially, that makes them stand out and tons of fun to fight. While on Hyrule Field, they will ride Bulbos, generally in pairs, with one in front controlling the Bulbo, with the archer sitting at the back firing at foes. Bulblin served their leader, King Bulblin, who in turn served Zant, and they invaded the Spirit Springs for the purpose of clearing the path of his invasion of Hyrule. Now the encounters you have with them are actually a lot of fun and quite epic showdowns as well. Besides that, the horse combat worked extremely well in this game, making the fights with them on a boar and you and your horse a fun challenge. Personally, I've taken them out many times just for the enjoyment of it. They're so much fun to fight. We saw a similar thing with the bokoblins on horseback in Breath of the Wild, but I have to say the boars are a lot better. It makes them more special as well. Nintendo could even expand on this by making more variations of them and even more interesting bases that you can go through. Especially with a mini-boss like enemy among them as their king, they could be a ton of fun to encounter in the world and defeat. It works extremely well in Twilight Princess, so why not again and expand upon it? Maybe one day we will see them again, and the same goes for the others as well. But only time will tell.
Before you go, be sure to check out Wily streams. The best bits of every live stream will end up there, so go check it out.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. My throat is completely messed up. I hope you can forgive me. I hope you still enjoyed the video. And click subscribe and the bell button, and there are more videos on the screen, so click those.